and welcome to Middlesex Moments, live from Connecticut State Community College on the Middlesex campus located in Middletown, Connecticut. I'm your host and campus CEO, Kim Hogan. Today we are kicking off our 8th season of Middlesex Moments, a show produced together with the students of our studio production class under the guidance of Todd Levesque here in the Center for New Media. I'm honored to be the host of this show, working alongside of our students to tell you about some of the new things that have been going on both on and off campus. Later in the show, we'll get a chance to meet with Alison McCarthy, our wellness counselor here on campus. I have a few interesting and informative questions for her, so hopefully you'll stay tuned in. This show affords us the opportunity to further examine the many talents here at Middlesex, which we definitely have no shortage of. This year, our students and faculty have been up to some pretty awesome things. If you don't believe me, just wait as we move on to our new segment called In the Loop. Our first feature highlights some of the work that Professor Peter Kakouskas and his students have been working on. This year, they are participating in a friendly yet ongoing rivalry with other community college campuses to see who could create the best drone. Let's take a look and see them in action.
Hello everyone, my name is Anthony Gentili, and this is the 2024 NASA Quadcopter Challenge. I am one of the 5 people representing Middlesex Community College for this challenge. Basically, we were given a drone kit that we are supposed to build and develop upon. Our main goal is to have the quadcopter fly, also fly autonomously, as well as pick up a few samples during the challenge. I would say the main goal of this project is to get familiar with working hands-on with mechanical engineering. It involves computer engineering, even computer science as well. So I would say that this goal is to really educate people on what we can do and how we can use our learning out in the real world. Basically, we have to just compete with other colleges that are building the drone.
Now that's a nice looking drone. Awesome job. Keep up the great work, because you know that I'm rooting for our campus. And if you're interested and would like to learn more about Middlesex activities featuring drones, please visit our website at mxcc.edu/news. Next up, we navigate to Middlesex's library, where we once again traverse and explore the subject of technology, but this time with our guest speaker, Oscar Tonello. Oscar has done some amazing things, from manufacturing in the field of robotics and for the public and the military. But I really shouldn't say too much because it's probably top secret. Let's just play the video.
It was recently Technology Discovery Day here at Middlesex, so join me as I highlight the many displays they had available. Starting in the library, we were greeted by many displays put on by the CTState Computer Club Technology Center. There were even remote control robots on wheels and in dog form. Look at that guy move. Check out this realistic cadaver dog owned by the veterinary program here at Middlesex. There was a guest speaker, Oscar Tonello. Mr. Tonello is an engineer at Sikorsky Aircraft. He spoke on a variety of topics, from how he got started to the types of aircraft he's worked on, ranging from civilian transport to top secret military projects. After a quick trip downstairs, we can see the Center for New Media has opened its doors to the public to show off all their cool tech. The staff had the music recording room open, where students can come in and lay down their own tracks on instruments that they play. Check out the control room for the TV studio. Modeled after the ESPN control room, it was tech galore. Here in the studio, we see all the cameras set up and the green screen in full effect. Look at that handsome camera operator. There are 2 VR headsets for students to use, here being operated by John Schaefer, and a few students as well. An amazing time here at Middlesex, so be on the lookout for future events.
Wow, that was some pretty high-tech stuff going on there, with a nice variety of activities to really engage in. So if you're a technology buff or just interested, perhaps a little curious, and would like to know more about our library tech segment, please visit our website at mxcc.edu/news. On April 12th, Dr. John O. Maduco's inauguration was held on our Housatonic campus. I am honored to have been a part of this festive and important part of the history here at Connecticut State. Congratulations to Dr. Maduco and to all of us across the 12 campuses on this occasion. We're going to cover this event in more detail in our next show. You've now seen a recap of a few of our stories and you can now be considered in the loop. If you or anyone that you know might be interested in learning more or joining us as a new student, please stop by our campus, stop by our Enrollment Services office, or visit our college website at CTState.edu. After a short break, we'll meet Alison McCarthy, the wellness counselor here at Connecticut State-Middlesex. We'll be right back after these messages.
The Middlesex Community College Foundation is set to host its annual Red Moon Gala on October 5th from 6 to 9. The foundation extends an invitation to the public and community members to participate by becoming sponsors or purchasing tickets. Festivities kick off at 6 in Chapman Hall at the CTState-Middlesex main campus. Come on down and have a fun night.
Welcome back to Middlesex Moments, live from the Center for New Media on the Middlesex campus. I'm your host, Kim Hogan, and today we're joined by Alison McCarthy, our wellness counselor here at CT State-Middlesex. Hi, Alison.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for joining our show today, and thanks for being a very welcome addition to our student services here on our team. As we get started, please tell the audience just a little bit about what you do here at Middlesex.
So here at Middlesex, I work as a mental health and wellness counselor with our students. So my primary role is to meet with students individually to provide them with support, whether it's challenges they're facing here as a college student or other challenges in life. The job is to provide an opportunity for them to have someone to talk to and to be able to process those things, and then also to be able to help them further with, if they're experiencing depression or anxiety, stressors, to assist them with those pieces.
Wow. So why is wellness so important, not only for our students, but for everyone on campus?
Well, our wellness impacts everything that we do. It impacts our health. It impacts how well we respond to one another in different situations. And so, for example, if you think about, if you have the flu or something like that, you're not feeling well, you're not able to perform as well, this can impact all different parts of our lives. So if our physical well-being or our mental well-being, our health, our spiritual well-being, all those different pieces, if they're not in alignment, then we cannot perform at our best. It makes it hard to focus in classes. It makes it harder to focus on studying at home, things like that. All right.
Wow. I've heard that stress plays a part into our general feeling of well-being. Is that right?
Yes, it definitely plays a part in our general well-being. And
how does stress play a part in our overall wellness? What does it impact?
So there are some stressors that are good stressors, but if our stress is too much and it's negatively impacting things to the point that it's chronic stress, it can actually change how our brain and our body function, and it impacts our patience with other people. It impacts a number of different things, and then it can also impact our health. It can impact, whether we develop, cardiac problems or respiratory problems, different things. So too much stress and negative stressors can really change our brain, actually, and how our brain operates.
Are there any stressors that are good stressors or okay for our wellness?
Yes, there are a number of stressors that are good for us. For example, if we are taking on a new challenge at work, or we are, studying something that really excites us, training for a new athletic event, those kinds of things are what motivate us, and they are positive stressors in our lives, so they can really help us.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Allison. We're going to be right back with more Middlesex Moments just after this short break.
We are CT State. With the launch of Connecticut State Community College, students will have the opportunity for a new educational experience delivered by the best community college system in the nation.
CT State is a new way to educate Connecticut's residents.
With hundreds of majors delivered on 12 campuses and online, CT State will not only meet Connecticut's workforce needs,
but provide students with the career and life goal choices they need to be successful.
We are CT State. Starting in May and July at CT State Community College's campuses statewide. Visiting students are welcome. Find out more at ctstate.edu/summer.
Welcome back. I'm here with Alison McCarthy, and we're talking a little bit about wellness. Just before the break, we were just talking a little bit about stress, right? And so, Alison, what are some of the things that the students and others can do to maybe maintain stress levels that are considered safe?
So, a lot of what we want to do is really focus our energy and our time on the present. We talk about practicing mindfulness. Okay. And so some of the things that we actually do with students, some of the programs that we do with them, one is a morning motivation program where we talk about our habits that we build and how those, we focus on actually the book from James Clear, Atomic Habits, and we take different segments each week and look at all of the different little habits that we do in our lives that can be moving us towards positive things in our lives and away from stressors. So for example, if we're getting ready for an exam or something like that, if we've prepared, if we've studied for things ahead of time, our stress levels might go down versus if we're heading into something not feeling as prepared for it. So we talk about what are some of the different habits along the way that can help us decrease those stress levels. We also look at positive habits in our lives, for example, eating healthy, sleeping well, our nutrition, how those different things
I should be taking some notes now.
Me too. Decrease our caffeine, so my little Dunkin' coffees maybe need to cut back on that. But those different pieces in our lives that we can move towards those habits and move us into those directions. We also meet with students to talk about things like progressive muscle relaxation, which is an activity where we tighten and release our muscles as we're breathing, and we're able to kind of relax our bodies and remove that stress.
Kind of works. I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
That's great.
But students talk about journaling, listening to music, going for a run. There's a lot of different things that we can do in our lives that help us to maintain more positive stress levels.
These are really great suggestions, so thank you. Are you available to meet with students that are just feeling a little stressed, or do they have to have a clinical diagnosis in order to be able to meet with you as a counselor?
I'm happy to meet with any student. That's my favorite part of my job. So yes, they do not need to have a clinical diagnosis. Some students do, and some do not, but we're happy to help all students.
That's great to know. So what should a student do if perhaps they know somebody that needs help, that maybe is just afraid to either come or that hasn't reached out to anyone? What would that student do?
The biggest thing is really to try to talk with your friend, to check in with them, to see how they're doing. And then to, if you realize that they do need some help, to try to persuade them to get that help. I was looking at the JED Foundation website. We're doing a lot of work with the JED Foundation here on our campus. And there was an interview with Billie Eilish. And what Billie Eilish was saying is, it doesn't have to be some big intensive thing that you're coming at the person with. You can just say, hey, are you good? And a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'm good. Are you actually good? And really start to check in a little bit deeper. And then if they need help, to be able to connect them with, for example, the counseling services here on our campus, or timely care, or even if someone's really in crisis, dialing 988, that national lifeline for mental health, so that students can get someone right online who's got that expertise to be able to talk them through whatever they're going through.
These are all great, excellent pieces of advice. So how would someone reach you, either during office hours or after office hours? How do we get in touch with you?
Yeah. So out on our website, ctstate.edu/wellness, is the information for all of the counseling services. They also can stop into Founders Hall. Room 104 is our wellness center. And right on the door there's actually a QR code for students to be able to scan to schedule appointments with us. And there's also one for Timely Care. And Timely Care is the 24/7 virtual services that are free to all CT State students. So if people are looking for things after hours, or they want to just talk right now with a counselor, maybe I'm not available, they have those options for free to be able to go online and do this.
And just so everybody knows, are your services confidential?
Yes. The services are confidential. Legally, they have to be confidential.
Right.
And confidentiality has a couple of limits, that if there is, an imminent harm to either the student or to someone else, we obviously would need to break that confidentiality because we want to protect everyone and keep them safe. Also, if someone is expressing abuse of a child, an elder, someone with a disability, again, we need to put things in place to protect people. But aside from that, everything that a student says within the office is completely confidential.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Alison, I want to thank you for all that you do for our students and for taking the time to be with us here today and to experience Middlesex Moments live.
Thank you very much.